Good morning, Rapid Freaks. Lexi Outs here. It's Sunday. We're doing a Sunday special report. And today, our Sunday special report is on NBA 2K ratings. Yeah. Yeah. This is something we've kind of talked about a little bit at times, but since they've come out with the ratings for most of the players this year, now in the last week, I figure this is the time to talk about it right now. It's something that sometimes I don't really care about or talk about too much, but I feel like this is something on the download that matters. And I'm going to explain why. All right, but yeah, let's get into it this morning. It's a Rapid Freak show. Sunday morning, Sunday special report. Ronnie 2K in the NBA 2K ratings. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know much about Ronnie. I don't play 2K. I've never played 2K very much. It's just I'm an older person and video games at a certain point. Yeah, I still play video games, but I don't have the time to invest a full-time schedule on a video game like 2K, which is what it takes to be successful at it. You can ask our trivia champion, Amit Gaming 2K. That's in his name, and that is what he does. It's a grind. I mean, Scotty talked about it a lot on Twitch. It's like, I'm grinding on NBA 2K right now, guys. I'm grinding. And I'm like, man, this is great and everything for your video game, but man, we want you out there doing it in real life, my guy. We want you out there developing and grinding for your own skills and not worrying about those virtual badges on the 2K game and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of criticism of 2K by a lot of different people, including the fans, the regular players, and the NBA players. They have a lot of criticism for that game also. I've sat in a Twitch stream with Terrence Ross, and he has gone off about how 2K is broken, how 2K is messed up. It's just a money grab at this point. He's like, I got to throw so much money into buying VC so that I can go and spend it on this and this. And it's the only way you can be competitive or have fun. And it's crazy the amount of money that somebody like Terrence Ross, former Raptor, retired NBA player, spends on 2K just converting real money into VC, fake money, virtual coins on the 2K game. And he's saying like it's getting crazier and crazier every year, the amount that these guys have to spend. Now, if you're a millionaire kind of guy like Terrence Ross and you're retired and you have lots of time and you want to do it, well, he's doing it. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I know that even when Scott was playing 2K on Twitch a lot in the summer of 2022, we would see him open packs and he would spend a lot of money like really quick. He'd be like, yeah, I just spent $300, guys, on opening packs just now. And I'm like, holy crap. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's the way it is these days in video games. Back in the day, the grind was enough to win. You didn't have to spend any money. It's just you put the time in and you achieved and you won. Well, they figured it out at some point in the video game industry that you've got to pay to win. Yeah, it's not even about skills anymore. You could be a horrible player, but if you have the most money and you pay the most for the most stuff, you can be the best player just because you paid for it. What is that kind of message in this world? That everything you want, you can just buy and you don't even have to work for it. Yeah, it's wrong. Another thing that's wrong with NBA 2K is that they wipe your work from years before. I'm on Reddit boards reading about people talking about 2K and why it's broken. And they're saying, I grinded on NBA 2K 2021 and I built it all out. And then they destroyed the server, or they closed it. And all of my data that I worked on in that year is completely for naught. I cannot do anything with it at this point. And this is the crazy thing. They spent all that money building those characters up, all that time doing all that. And 2K is going to shut down the server in a couple years and all of it's just gone. It's almost like, all right, you go to school and you go to years of classes and you get the diploma. It's almost like, hey, I went to school. I went to 2K school in 2021 and I grinded and I grinded and I grinded and we're ripping it up your diploma. Your diploma don't mean jack shit because it doesn't exist anymore. And all that time and money and spent in that is gone. It's just gone, up in smoke. I mean, I can kind of relate to this from my own self. In the mid 2010s, there was a game on Facebook called Marvel's Avengers Alliance. I really liked it. I was really into it. You could get almost any Marvel character from the Marvel universe, and they have special things going on with the movies when they came out. And, I actually did spend a little bit money, real money on that game because I wanted to get certain Spider-Mans and Hulks and stuff like that. And well, what did they do? They shut it down at some point, and I haven't seen that game in almost 10 years now. And I spent a lot of time playing it. Now that was my lesson. I was like, wow, you can't do this. You can't do this, Lex. Of course, it's something like Farmville back in the day. You could pay extra to get specialty holiday items for your farm. Well, there's a lot of people out there that did that. Where are those farms now? Is Farmville still in existence? I don't think it is. So I'm wondering. This is a problem with the video games industry in general. Is you pay to play, but then also they reserve the right to revoke the ability to play at any time because they will take the server down. They will go away. It will go away, and all of your work that you put in for hours, days, weeks, months, years, out the window, out the window. So it's like, man, they are ripping off the younger generations these days. Like it used to be when I was a kid, there wasn't like this. You get what you get, and you get to keep it because it's like it's Atari, and it's a game in a cartridge and stuff like that. I know I'm old. I'm old. But yeah, that's just one aspect of what's wrong with 2K. It's the profit model for it is very much rip people off and take away what they earned, and then it's gone. There's other things we can talk about. We can talk about how the game is glitchy and unfair and does weird things. We can talk about how they change it in weird ways every year, and it's not in a way to help it. It's like they want more storyline. In some ways, people have complained that 2K is just the same game. They keep putting it out over and over again, and there's no update, and they just want us to pay for it every year. I mean, I could see that. I was like, if they're lazy and they're just going to use the infrastructure from the year before and just add a little bit of bells and whistles on around it. Maybe there's some my career bullshit or something like that. Maybe they'll have a flashy cover with Vince Carter on it, like they will this year. And they'll have some specialty character, like a Kobe Bryant special commemorative character, or something like that you got to pay money for. Yeah, but the reality of the game is it's not really updated, and it's just kind of the same shit. And you're paying for another whole game all of a sudden again every single year. It's crazy. So you buy the game, you have to buy it, and then you have to pay to play to do a lot of the stuff on it too. Yeah, it's a scam. In a lot of ways, it's a scam. We're just going over all the reasons there's a problem with 2K. Now, a thing that some of the people have said that they need to do to fix this is to boycott 2K. And in fact, some people like Terrence Ross, once again, I heard him on his Twitch stream one day said, why can't we get NBA Live back? Now, that was a franchise when I was younger that was awesome. NBA Live, I go all the way back to Lakers versus Bulls and Celtics versus Lakers Sega Genesis games. Yeah. I go back to that Super Nintendo, NBA Live 98. Yeah. That's where I go to when we start talking about basketball games. But, this is something that there's been other franchises of basketball games that competed in the past, in the very, very back in the day of the history of basketball video games. There was Live, and then there was the 2K series, like the NBA 2K now. And well, the rivalry, the competition made them both innovate and try and do better than each other. But there's nothing like that at this point. In some ways, Terrence Ross is saying we need NBA Live back to compete with 2K and make it more like, an alternative, something that gamers that don't like 2K and they're pissed off about can play this game instead. Yeah, I believe there should be. I believe there should be two different NBA games that you can play video games on. One that's like 2K, that people like that kind of stuff, and one that's just for yourself. You can take it home and play it just like we used to when we were kids. There was no online. You just play the teams, you play the game, and that's it. No extra payments to buy other stuff online after you get it. You just buy the damn cartridge, bring it home, plug it in, and play it. And in some ways, I think that would be something that's out on the market that people would want. I don't know if money makers out there in the video game industry are listening to me, but I would say that that's something that people would want. Yeah, I would say that that's something people would want. A game that, I don't want all the bells and whistles. I just want to play the NBA rosters current right now against each other for fun. I want to simulate some games. Why not? I want to do some trades and do some dream rosters with the current players in the league. I would buy that game because I don't give a shit about running around online with a whole bunch of jokers on skateboards and with mascot uniforms on and all that shit. No, I want to play the game. I want to play the game. And I don't care about whether it's in the desert or in some weird gym or if there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken motto on it. I just want to play the NBA teams in their arenas with their rosters in a way that doesn't make me have to pay an arm and a leg in some ways. So I bet there's a market out there for an alternative to NBA 2K that somebody needs to tap once again. I would say that. Of course, there's two more major problems with NBA 2K, and we'll talk about the first one. The first one is Ronnie 2K himself. Yeah, he's annoying as f. Yeah, Ronnie is all right. Let's tell the story of Ronnie 2K real quick. Let's tell everybody the truth about Ronnie 2K here real quick. Ronnie 2K was a gamer himself. He played 2K in the very early stages of the early years of it. And he was pretty damn good, actually. He was pretty damn good. And he was always around in different places in the right place in the right time. And he got known around Reddit circles and other places as a top 2K player. Well, at some point, he got brought into the fold by 2K officially, and he became like the gamer spokesperson for the games over the years. Now, Ronnie was in law school to go take the LSAT and become a lawyer. And his parents weren't totally thrilled that he left that to go do what he's doing now as the 2K spokesperson. He's not a developer. He is not one of the people that decides any of the stuff about the ratings or anything, but he has taken the brunt of the abuse from everybody that's mad about the ratings because of he's so prominent. But he's an asshole. You can see him come out and he's kind of like a dick. He is. He just kind of comes out and he's like, I will tell you what Bronny James's rating is, but not right now. And then he'll run out. And also he's extremely cocky. In some ways, he's not the kind of person you like. And he's just really annoying. In some ways, he's found this celebrity through this video game that he played. In some ways, it's not warranted. And in some ways, he milks it to the point where he's obnoxiously annoying. And I think that a lot of people that are familiar with Ronnie 2K would exactly agree with me. So, yeah, y'all have all kinds of opinions on NBA 2K. I want to hear them today. And I'm going to talk about the worst thing about NBA 2K in a very close second, very, very soon. Let's check in with y'all first. Yeah, a little bit of my spiel on the 2K and what's going on with it and some of my views about it and why it's a ripoff and why it's messed up and why we need an alternative and who the hell is Ronnie 2K. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you, it's something else. And I'm glad Ahmed is here to add his 2 cents on today's topic because honestly, he's somebody who's way more educated and knowledgeable about this topic than I am. And I very much value our Rapid Freak Champion's opinion on this. So this is a big day for Ahmed Gaming because he's got that 2K in his name is what I'm going to say it right there. All right, let's go with Trevor J. First in, the Commissioner of Fun, my good friend Trevor J., the high-flying, jet-flying, styling and profiling Trevor J. has got his tickets to the Los Angeles Lakers and Los Angeles Clippers games in LA in November. He will be there representing the RFF when the Raptors land on their long road trip in LA and they play those 2 games. Trevor will be there for support. Let's see. Good morning, family. God will give you strength for every battle, wisdom for every decision, and peace that surpasses understanding. I love that. I love that, Trevor. That's fantastic stuff. Guys, I have some very sad news this morning, and it has to do with one of our wise men, Leo Routens. Guys, let's get a really sympathetic heart and feelings towards Leo this morning because he had to put down his other big dog yesterday. It's really, really sad and tragic. And I'll say this. This is what Leo's life tip is. In the blink of an eye, it could all be taken away. Be grateful, always. Yeah, it's really sad. Of course, Leo's other big dog, the female one, was put down last summer, and it was very, very sad and tragic. You know, the big shaggy brown dogs that Leo had that he'd walk around down near the Lake Ontario, down near the Music Gardens and around that area, Toronto. Yeah, well, the 2 big dogs are gone now. Leo having to say goodbye to Cooper yesterday. And, man. Of course, he's got the little dog still, but man, I know Leo's hurting right now. So y'all think about Leo Routens right now, please. Please. Speaking of dogs, there's a really cool picture on Scotty Barnes' Instagram right now of Cardi and Cece. And they're wearing number 4 Barnes jerseys. And they're wearing, this is the thing that's really interesting about it, they're wearing the purple front black back jerseys. The Vince Carter jerseys. That's right. Scotty's dogs are wearing Vince Carter jerseys, Vince Carter style jerseys. So, I mean, if that isn't a sign of which the retro jersey we're going to be wearing this year is, that's it right there. I think Scott just gave it away, honestly. Because honestly, I mean, you can go look at the pictures. They're beautiful, beautiful jerseys on the dogs. And Scotty's so happy. He's like sitting on his steps at his house, and the dogs are sitting in front of him with the backs to the camera. And you see the Barnes 4, and it's the black back of the purple front of the Vince Carter era jersey. So I'm telling you right now, guys, that's the one you're going to get. The Scotty would not put those retro jerseys on his dogs this season if that was not the jersey that they're going to wear in those retro games this year. I predicted this in some ways like months ago. The first time we did retro jerseys in the 20th anniversary, it was the purple dinosaur jersey. 25th anniversary around the bubble, Mark Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Kyle Lowry, the white dinosaur jersey. And well, this time we're going purple front, black back. Vince Carter era jerseys are going to be the retro jerseys this year. I can tell. Why would Scotty put that jersey on his dogs yesterday? That's what I would say right now. The clues are there. We can witness this shit all day. We know how to figure it out and detect. We are investigative reporters on the Raptor Street channel. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Why would Scotty put the purple front, black back jerseys on his dogs yesterday if he wasn't going to be wearing them himself this season? That's it right there. That's it right there. That's the one you want to know. This is a shirt from that era. It's real ripped up. I got all kinds of Raptor shirts. Some that you may have never even seen on this channel. Look how worn the letters are. This was a shirt that was, I think it's from 2000. Honestly, this is a Vince Carter era Raptor shirt I'm wearing right now. All right, let's see what's going on. David is in. The commissioner of trivia, David Saborin, is in. He said, who cares about NBA 2K? Who cares? You know what, David? I'm with you. Who cares? But I'm going to tell you why we should care. Because in some ways, this is exactly why. We'll do the classic card very soon, too. This is why we should care. Because listen, the NBA 2K ratings are perception. Just as much as ESPN has writers like Kevin Pelton saying that he doesn't think Scotty Barnes will be on the Olympic team, perception is like put out there in the media. And well, it could be a Brian Windhurst article. It could be something somebody said on TV like Stephen A. Smith. It could be whatever from ESPN. Well, 2K has a part in perception also. In some ways, 2K shapes young basketball fans' minds on who's good and who isn't. You know, sometimes we hear misinformed information or opinions from youngsters south of the border about Scotty Barnes. In some ways, they might think that partly because Ronnie 2K and the 2K crew have given Scotty a lower ranking or rating than other people that are his contemporaries. Like one of the big ones, and Amit was talking about this yesterday when we brought this up, is how Paolo Banchero is an 89 in this season's 2K, and Scotty is an 85. Now that will perceptively to a youngster who picks up the game will say, well, Paulo's better than Scott because he has 4 more points on his overall rating on 2K. But is this true? I mean, how can you rate this? In some ways, it's shaping the perception of the hierarchy of the NBA 2K ratings, even if it doesn't really mean jack shit. And we could talk about, well, the ratings are the ratings, but there's reality, Lex. There's reality. Sky's going to go out there and do it, and it's going to not matter what the ratings are. I agree with you. But perception gets shaped by those ratings. And people do actually start buying into them because in some ways, some of these kids who spend so much time on that game, like Amit Gaming, it's the gospel. It's the gospel. It can shape the minds. Now, when I was a kid, like Amit, and I was a number cruncher, and I loved stats, and I loved the video games out at that time, which are not anywhere near the level that the ones are now as far as graphics and detail and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we're happy to get a signature dunk for some of the players in the game and some of the moves. And we were really happy when the players kind of played like they did in the game when we were playing NBA Live 96 and stuff like that back then in the day. That's the thing, is it can change the perception of the young generations of who is good and who is not. And that's why there's disrespect to some people. I mean, we'll go look at the Raptors ratings. I got the page right here. Scotty Barnes, 85. RJ Barrett, 83. Emmanuel Quickler, 83. Jakob Poeltl, 82. Kelly Olynyk, 80. Bruce Brown, 77. Grady Dick, 76. Chris Boucher, 76. And all the way down. Now, the rookies got their ratings already. Jacoby Walters is 70. Mobo and Shed are 69s. And Shamshay is a 68. And they didn't even bother to rate Brendan Carlson yet. So whatever. But listen, this is the thing. Those are baselines. Those rookie ratings can go up as they show who they are in the league. And they will. They will. So one of those rookies will go out there and do some amazing things, and boom, all of a sudden they'll get bumped up like 4 or 5 overall rating points. So yeah, that's how it works with that. Now, that's what I'm saying. Perception can be made by 2K on young minds that are immersed in that world. That's why I would say it matters, David. It doesn't matter old heads like you and I, because it's just a video game. But the younger generation shapes their opinions on who's better than who by the NBA 2K ratings to a degree, is what I would say right there. That's what it is right there. Yeah, Trevor's saying NBA 2K bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, yeah. And David's got the dice. All right, we'll do that. Let's roll the dice with our lives. And let's play the classic card of the day. You know, we love to do this. Commissioned by the Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J., and adjudicated by the Commissioner of Trivia, David Saborin. We will see who gets the classic card today. Really, please do not half-ass me. Seriously, we cannot have half-assery this season for the Raptors. We need to be full-assing it, because this season's going to be tough for the Raptors, and we're going to need to play right, full-ass way, all the time, so we can get more W's. All right, guys, this is fun. This is fun. I can't show you this card too close because it's too easy, and so it's going to be a eye test. And first one to write it in, so be quick, because this one's real easy. I love that I got this card too, and this is timely in some ways. All right, so let's see. How will I hold it? I'll hold it like this. All right, who is that, guys? Can you see from there? If you can see it from here, you're a badass. Your eye test is really good. Who is that, guys? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Don't half-ass me now. Come on now. Boom goes a dynamite. Mike knows from far away. He can tell when Charles Barkley's on there. That is Charles Barkley. And the weird thing is, it's actually a Suns card, but I think he's actually in the Sixers jersey. He was still in Philadelphia on this card, which is very interesting. It's a nice Charles Barkley card. I don't know why they put it in the plastic sleeve in here. I guess it's the special. Charles needs protection, so they put the plastic card around, the plastic cover around him. Most of the cards were in there just on their own, but Charles has got a plastic covering because he's a special card. There's a Charles Barkley card. This is obviously from when he transitioned from Philadelphia to Phoenix after his long, arduous time in the Sixers. And he hated the Sixers. He when he left, he was like, "Fuck you, Sixers. I hate you." And he was so happy to go to Phoenix. Trust me. Charles has a weird relationship with the Sixers. Let's just put it that way. And this is the card right around when he left. So, yeah, there's Charles. Good job. Look at that. David Saborin giving you 75 points, Mike. Yeah, good job with the eye test. He could see it far away. And, I mean, in some ways, Charles is such a distinctive body type and look to him. In some ways, you should be able to pick him up from far away. Yeah, he's such a unique, important NBA legend. And, yeah, we love you, Charles. I love that we got a Charles Barkley card today. Isn't that cool, guys? Yeah, that's it right there. Charles B is our card of the day. There you go. This is our classic card of the day. There you go. Monique is here, the super fan. Monique Lawrence, one of our leaders, one of our MVPs. We love Monique so much. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. That Ronnie 2K guy needs to quit his job. No, he's got one of the best lives ever. In some ways, he's annoying. That's part of the reason why people hate him, is because he gets to hang out with NBA players and he gets to act like a dick. And he gets paid for it. He gets all the things from 2K early. He gets involved in like developments kind of stuff, or like advertising. He has to hang out and he gets to do these little dumb social media clips where he's like, "I'm going to reveal LeBron's rating for this year." Oh no, I'm not going to. You know, why do you do that? He's a teaser. And in some ways, he likes to tease the 2K fans for what the ratings are going to be. And he does really, really annoying like little clips to do that. Yeah. I don't know. I think if I was him, I wouldn't be quitting that job, because that job's good, even if everybody hates him. Let's just put it that way. Mike, David's saying you're fired, Ronnie. You're fired, Ronnie 2K. That's right. Logical saying the NBA 2K brand isn't the same. People are tired of the minor improvements. That's what I'm saying. They paying the same amount every year. Sometimes even the price is increased for the same exact game and very, very minor additions or updates. Sometimes it's just something as stupid as a new court, and that's it. Yeah, you got the new beach volleyball court out here in the My World area of 2K. You know, all this kind of bullshit. That's what they're doing. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Dap. What's my guy, Ulrich Shamshay's rating? I can't see it. Is he going to be 80 by the midseason? Let's go. Well, Shamshay is rated, and he is the lowest rated Raptor out of all the Raptors. I'm sorry to say. Actually, no, wait. Malik Williams is still on the roster. He's tied with him at 68. Oh, and DJ Carton is a 68 also. So Ulrich is a 68 currently. Cowboy. That's where he's ranked right now. Now, if they get some looks at him, they see some of the stuff he does, they're going to increase that defensive rating, and his rating will go up. I'm going to tell you right now, he's 68 right now. Take note, Cowboy, and let's go see what Ulrich Shamshay's rating is at the end of the season coming up, and we'll reconvene on that. So you remember 68, and let's see if he's in the 70s by the end of the year. I think he will be. I think he will be. That's right. Trevor's saying, I'm here in New Orleans working today until Tuesday. So Trevor is jet setting. He's in the Big Easy right now, where they bury the people above the ground, where they have a very famous voodoo shop. That's right. Those were the clues from the trivia last week. But yeah, he's in New Orleans, baby. Yeah, get yourself some etouffee. Get down there and get you some crawdaddies. Yeah, some Cajun style. That's right. David's saying, can we nickname Ulrich the Terminator? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I see what you're saying, David. In some ways, Ulrich Shamshay kind of has the feel of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first Terminator movie. Like when he comes down and he goes in that bar in the first place and gets the clothes. Yeah, he's kind of got that look to him. Now, he smiles too much. So maybe he can't be the Terminator because Ulrich is very much a happy man and he's very much a good spirit in some ways. Now, he may have the frame, the body, maybe a little bit looking like a Cameroonian Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I don't know. David. We got to do this organically. Y'all keep wanting to thrust nicknames on players of the Raptors, and well, some stick and some don't. Most do not stick. Very, very few do. Very, very few do. It's hard to get a nickname that you want to give to a player to get over worldwide and consensus around the Raptors nation. It's not easy. And sometimes these nicknames get rejected by the players themselves. I'll bet you that Matt Devlin has to talk to some of the players and say, listen, I want to start calling you the Austrian Hammer. Are you okay with that, Jakob? Yeah, I don't mind. That sounds great. I'm from Austria, and I do hammer it on the hoop. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad I got you okay on that. Austrian Hammer. Yeah, it could be as simple as that. So in some ways, it's like Devlin will probably commiserate with the players and say, is this okay if I call you this? Scotty B, you know, I tried to throw nicknames at Scott and he wasn't having it. It's kind of like it has to happen organically. You can't just say, yeah, Scotty, how do you think about the name Red Baron, Scotty von Barnstormer? Yeah, that sounds great. Like you're one of those planes that flies through the barn and dunks it. Yeah. Scotty's like, Raptors freak. I don't know. Yeah, you got to be careful with the nickname stuff. Seriously, because some of it will be rejected, and you'll feel bad. David's saying, go get some beignets from Cafe du Monde. If there is a lineup, just walk in and sit down somewhere. Laugh out loud. The place is a zoo. Works every time. Okay, so Dave is giving you some bridge traveler tips. David goes to New Orleans for a bridge tournament. He knows to go to Cafe du Monde and just sit down there like you know what you're doing, like you own the place, and they will run to you. Don't act so desperate like everybody else clamoring for the counter. Just go in there real cool and sit down and maybe just like and just kind of chill. And all of a sudden they come running and they'll serve you. That's good tips, David. That's good tips right there. Cowboy said, alley-oop to David. Yeah. Yeah, all right, we'll give David a dunk for his travel tips, Anthony Bourdain. Come on now, Anthony Bourdain. He knows the little ins and outs of going places. That's right. That's Anthony David Bourdain. That's right. Where is he on here? Here he is. 160. Let's give him a three-pointer. 163 for David on the travel tips for New Orleans for our Commissioner Jay. Let's see. Mike is saying NBA2K has card packs, and you can play with the cards. So the rarer cards are more powerful. So when they release a new card set, they make those rare cards a little better each time. Yeah, so that means you have to keep getting them in some ways. But don't they wipe the old stuff from like maybe 2 or 3 years ago? It's like the life of a 2K stuff from games before gets wiped like every 3 or 4 years, from what I hear, Mike. So it's like stuff that Scotty did around 2020 at Florida State when he was playing a lot during the pandemic. He access that, all the work he did or what that he put in around the game back then 4 years ago? Or is that server wiped and all that data and the characters he made, all the builds he did, are they gone now? That's what I'm asking. It's like these young people are putting in hard work and time, and this 2K is just like wiping their own work, wiping their work. It's gone like after a couple years. That's what I'm wondering. David's saying that kid is going to be a monster. He be eating Giannis for breakfast in no time. What kid? What kid? Who? What kid? What kid's going to be a monster? What kid? Ahmed is here. Good. I want to hear what Ahmed has to say here. Good morning, y'all. Sorry I'm late. You're not that late, man. You're right on time. You're good. I got distracted because I'm watching a Osama bin Laden documentary and didn't see the time. Well, that's interesting. He's watching a bin Laden documentary. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, bin Laden's a weird guy. Very, very weird guy, the way he was. Yeah, that's interesting what you're watching. But yeah, no, I'm glad you're here, Amit, and I'm glad you're here to talk about the 2K stuff. And David's saying, how's Osama doing? No, he's gone, man. Obama got him. Yeah, Obama got him. It wasn't W. Bush. It wasn't Trump. It was Barack Obama that got Osama. Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah, SEAL Team 6 or whatever, they came in there. Yeah, apparently he had been in that compound for a long, long time, and there was a lot of pornography in there. Yeah, that's what I heard, at least. I don't know. I'm saying I hate the company of 2K, but I love basketball and can't stop buying it. He's like he's hooked. He can't do nothing. In some ways, this is the way I am about the Raptors. In some ways, I hate how unfair and messed up this world is with the Raptors and the NBA and how things are, but I can't quit them. I can't quit them. I can't quit the Raptors. I can't quit doing this stream every morning, even if I'm like in my right mind saying, you know what? The Raptors are going to go through a dark time. It may be tough for a little bit, Lex, but you can't quit them. And in some ways, Amit Gaming cannot quit 2K because it's part of his name at this point. Yeah, it's just part of his name at this point. Yeah, David's saying NBA Live 95, baby. Yeah, those were the days, weren't they? Like with the Super Nintendo cartridge, you put it in the little purple and gray machine, and you just have your little paddle and your buddy next to you. There's no online. You could maybe hook up 2 Super Nintendos and have like an all game something at some point. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun playing Mitch Richmond for Sacramento Kings, running around bombing threes. And back in the day, that's what I'm talking about, David. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. But I go all the way back to Sega Genesis games, like Bulls versus Lakers, when Michael and Magic played in the finals that year. And you'd have like Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, all those players in there. And they were little pixels. And they did have they had different skills. And your better players were better than the others. And if you shot from certain points on the floor with certain guys, they'd make them like they would in real life. You know, that's the kind of ways that they did it back then to make it as realistic as possible. The players were very different. If you had Greg Kite, he would play like Greg Kite. But if you had Isaiah Thomas, he played like Isaiah Thomas on there. So it was fun. And it was very, very fun, even though it's nowhere near the graphics, the engine, the online immersive world of NBA 2K. Those games were fun because in some ways they were exactly what they were supposed to be. Rosters from the NBA that were current for that year. Then you got to play your team against other teams in the league. You could play your season as the Raptors. Well, the Raptors didn't exist in the Lakers versus Celtics days, but you could play your team in a whole season and go through the season, and it was fun because in some ways you go to different teams and play different teams, and you have a record, and you could try and improve, and each team was different because they had their different players. Yeah, that's what it was all about back then. And where did that go with all the bells and whistles? And you have to train your player on his own by now. And you even have to go in and talk to the GM in the office now in this game. Why can't we just play the game? Why can't we just play Raptors versus Grizzlies and just play? Why can't we do that? That's what I would say if I was trying to play the game. There should be a game like what I just described on the market that is exactly just that, and that is it. Now, it could have the ability to update the roster as the year goes by, as far as people get moved around and trades and stuff like that happens. Yeah, there should be updates you can download through the online to fix it. But in some ways, you don't need to be playing in an online immersive world with everybody and their mom around the world, is what I would say. Just play with your friend that's sitting next to you, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Mike's saying, so you open like hundreds of packs to hit on one card that will be the best card until they release the new set of cards. Yeah, it's crazy. And in some ways, this is a model that has been used by sports collecting cards. That, you know, there's a lot of like really special rare cards. And of course, Amit's in this world also. And that he may buy a box of trading cards just to try and get one very special Panini exclusive or some crap like that. And in some ways, it's mimicked virtually online. At least Amit has a physical card when he's buying the trading cards, and that will never go away. They can't wipe that off the servers. They're going to come over to Amit's house and set his cards on fire at his house. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to have to go buy a whole set again, Amit. We got a flamethrower. There's your basketball card collection charred up. That's the weird thing, the ripoff of virtual stuff. This is why so many people out there are buying DVDs and cassettes and CDs and VHS, because they want to keep their physical media. And the way that media goes is more and more virtual. And well, in some ways, you're buying all your music on iTunes. What if iTunes crashes, or they say, yo, you lost all your Wu-Tang? I'm sorry, guy. What? Where did it go? That's what I'm talking about. So in some ways, as we go forward in time, are people going to be wanting to buy up physical media more and more because of this whole kind of thing with virtual media? And the virtual cards on 2K, are they worth more than the cards that Amit has physically that he was sorting out yesterday? No, they're not, because they're not even real. They're on a computer. And Amit has pieces of cardboard at his house that he will be able to have 50 years from now that will be worth something. And that's the big scam about virtual products, is because there's always a disclaimer somewhere in there that says at any moment and point, the publisher can take away the server and close it all down. That's it right there. And Mike's got the racket right there. The best card is only as good as till the next release. That's right. Cowboy's saying, wasn't he thrown off a battleship in the ocean? I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's right. I don't know. I don't think that's right. He was killed in his house where he was hiding. He wasn't his house, but he was killed in the compound that he was inside when the SEAL team raided him and came and got him. It was on the borders of Pakistan and Afghanistan on a ridge near, and I've seen overhead pictures of the compound, and kind of, there's a lot of detail to how it went down. It's very interesting. They've been very, very open about it. The whole operation that got bin Laden at that time. Yeah, they've been very open about it. David saying, I have no idea, hopefully. Bin Laden's a weird guy, man. In some ways, he's a very bad person. You're right. Yeah. Cowboy's laughing. Amit's saying, okay, I did not want Osama bin Laden to be the topic right now. Yeah, you brought that in here, just so you know. It's okay. I can handle this all right, because I do know a little bit about the subject. But in some ways, yeah, we don't need to talk about bin Laden. That's old news, dead and gone. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Cowboy's saying GTA is the only game I would spend my money on. So you would spend money on Grand Theft Auto, and you would buy extra vehicle, or maybe you can buy a tank in that game at this point. You get the credit card out, Bradley. I'm buying the newest tank, and I'm going to go run over people on the sidewalk. That sounds so fun. Actually, I'm a big fan of GTA. I was in on the ground floor with Grand Theft Auto 3 with the PlayStation, and Vice City, San Andreas. I played the more recent versions on the higher consoles, and I've enjoyed them. I would say Grand Theft Auto 4 was very fun. And I guess they're coming out with the 5th one soon, and it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I think that that's one of the most amazing games ever made. I don't know if I'd spend money on it, though. I'd probably be one of these poor people that just gets shot by everybody who has really good guns. That's what I would be probably on there. I'd be like, I'm on GTA online server. I've never played online on GTA, but I know that if I did, I'd probably get wasted because I don't have the arms to fight the arms race of the paying subscription people that buy whatever crazy weapon they can get through money and the cash and the credit card. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be in that world. That'd be scary. I'm saying I got 2K for free, essentially. I buy NBA League Pass, and it ends up being the same price if I buy League Pass for a year as it would be if I bought the $200 version, which I have. Okay. Well, however you got to do it, Amit, in some ways. You're a serious gamer, and I know you're serious about this game, and that's why I'm glad you're here today, because you can flesh out what we're saying here with some real experience from it. I can't. I don't have time to do this. And in some ways, you're being a teenager and you being in the middle of it, hip to it, is helpful right now for old heads like me. Let's just put it that way. David saying GTA and Red Alert Command and Conquer are the best games ever. Yeah, GTA is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. I mean, GTA is so crazy. I see it spawn out in real life. Like there's a clip of some guy in Atlanta who's just walking down the sidewalk, and there's a police car just parked there with the lights flashing. I guess the cops left it there to be a hazard to slow people down on the road, but nobody's in the car. And the guy walks up to it and he tries the door. He just gets in the police car. He just drives off with it. Yeah, that I have to say something like that is inspired by GTA. I'm sorry. That's something like anybody who thinks, oh, I'm just going to jump in a police car. Did this person play a lot of GTA and just practice jumping in police cars and trying to run away with it from the cops? I mean, I know I did for a while. That was kind of fun. But yeah, it's got some people do this in real life. Yeah, they see a real police car on the side of the street in Atlanta. They're just like, oh, I'll try the door. I'll get in just because I maybe it was inspired by GTA. I don't. I'm not saying Ronnie 2K doesn't do anything for the game of 2K. He's like the spokesperson, but he is not very good at it because he's a smart ass. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier. This is exactly right. He puts people off. In some ways, he's swarmy and kind of like, meh, and like, oh, I'm better than you, and like kind of a jackass. He's not like a likable person. Is part of what the problem is. It's like NBA 2K. You want people to like your game, well, people don't like it because you keep switching it out and it's not really improved and they have to keep paying for it. Well, let's make something that people will like even less. Ronnie 2K. Yeah, bring him in. Let's see how he is. Oh, yeah, I hate this guy. Yeah, he should be our representative. He'll take all the heat. Yeah, he's a lightning rod for the hate towards NBA 2K because it's easy to hate this guy. He seems like such a jerk. That's what I feel like it is right there, is why they have that guy in charge, is because he's an easy person to hate. Oh, I hate NBA 2K. I just lost my best player, my NBA player, and now he's gone. And like, oh, I'm going to blame Ronnie. Mike's saying, laughing my ass off. I'm going to stay on 2K. I'm a legit gamer. There you go. Mike is also a gamer, apparently, and playing the 2K like crazy. I mean, to me, listen, it's not about being legit or not legit. You play video games, you're a gamer. In some ways, well, do you guys really get that intense? Like, I know there's notoriety in being a top 2K player. Like, there's some people are known for being like, yeah, this guy, the professor, he's really badass or something like that. There's some guy out there named like this or nicknames, and they're kind of become their own legends in themselves. Yeah, I still just want what I wanted from earlier that I said, an NBA Live 98 where I can just play the rosters of the NBA, play the full schedule, and have the current rosters and play the game. And I don't need all the extra bells and whistles. I don't need to be playing against Amit and Mike. They can be in their own game in their own house, and I'll be on my game at my house. And I'll just enjoy playing the Raptors in an 82 game season, and hopefully the same schedule that we just got this past week. And I could actually test it. That's the kind of stuff I would be doing. I'd be doing simulations. I'd be in there and I'd take the Raptors and I'd take them for the whole NBA season. I'd simulate the whole season and I'd see how many games they won through the simulations. And my scientific method is that the game's created so well with a really showing who the players are, we can actually get a really good test run for how many wins we should expect the Raptors to win this year. It's that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like doing. In some ways, it's not even about playing it. In some ways, I like to enjoy the simulation. Sometimes simulation mode is my favorite. I like the when you play it and guys get tired and you got to actually think about injury and substitutions. And some of the chess that a coach does in the NBA has to be done in the game. And that's something that's missing, I think, in the 2K world at this point, that you got to manage the game like a coach in the old games. You can't just play LeBron the whole entire game. He's going to be tired at some point, and you got to really manage the game, just like a Darko would for the Raptors. And that's kind of one of the things I like. Yeah. Yeah. Cowboys saying, F yeah, David. CNC, Command and Conquer. Effing awesome, man. Yeah, there you go. And David's saying, I wish I could find a copy of that game. Last time I found something online, I downloaded it, and my computer basically blew up. Yeah, that's the risk. That's the risk right now with trying to find old games that aren't really around anymore. There's emulators out there and you can get them and you can play them, but sometimes it's malware and you're downloading malware. One of the biggest, most famous cases of this, and this is a game that I've tried to get in the last couple of years because it's fantastic. It's a game called Chandelar, and it's a Magic the Gathering online video game. I used to play Magic when I was younger. And well, this game was fun because you'd walk around a magical world and encounter wizards in the forest, and you'd have to throw down with them in little mini Magic the Gathering games. And that game is so sought after online, but it is notorious for being packaged with malware that's going to destroy your computer also. So it's like a really it's very tough to find a good version of it. Let's just put it that way. It's very, very tough to find a good version of it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. David's saying that's too bad. I've seen Leo walking his dogs near Lakeshore. Yeah, it's sad. He now only has that little one, and I'm really, really sad to hear that he had to put Cooper down yesterday. I know that just recently, Leo took the dogs on a really fun excursion, and I think he knew what was coming up, and he wanted to have those last little times of fun. I mean, I know Tommy hurt real bad when he lost Toto, and I haven't had a dog in a long, long time, and I do miss my old dog Penelope. But my ex-wife took the dog away from me, and I didn't see it for like the last 10 years of its life. So in some ways, I've grieved my dog a long, long time ago, and I haven't gotten any dogs since. But yeah, I can understand the connection between a pet owner and their dog. And this is really sad. So, guys, seriously, have a moment of silence for Cooper and think about Leo today. Just put him in your thoughts because he's hurting. He's hurting. I know he is. Let's see. Kareem saying, David, stop downloading porn from third party websites. I mean, that may be something different instead, right there. Let's see. Tom Duke's putting his heart out to Leo for Cooper. Yeah, prayers to Cooper and Mr. Routens on the passing of his dog. Yeah, that's right. Dap from Mr. Duke to Mr. Duke from David. I love to see that. Cowboy saying, Scotty be a 90 or above rating? No, he's an 85. He's an 85. It's ridiculous. Now, there is one rating here I'll look at real quick. They have the best by age bracket and 25 years old or older. And this is the one that Amit was talking about yesterday as far as Scotty getting disrespected. Scotty on this list is an 85, and they have him 18th out of all the NBA players that are 25 or younger. And right above him is Franz with 86 rating. Alpern Sengun has an 86. Why is Sengun higher? Cade Cunningham, 86. Evan Mobley, 86. Now, this is what I'm talking about. What was the big debate Scotty's rookie year? Who's better, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, or Scotty Barnes? Franz Wagner was even involved in this conversation. Well, this is NBA2K purporting the NBA media stereotypes and storylines that they want. Scotty is worse than Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Franz Wagner, according to this. 1 point less. Like, in some ways, I'm telling you, they're trying to shape perception in saying this. But Scotty won the Rookie of the Year. And also, if you look at this list, Scotty has a little star next to his head. That means he's an all-star, and those motherfuckers aren't. And that's why I can't stand this. I can't stand this. Okay, Chet's 1 point higher than them. I can't go with that either. Chet has not been exactly all that. Jalen Williams is also higher than him. No. Jaren Jackson Jr., no. LaMelo Ball, no. Zion Williamson, no. Paulo Banchero, no. All right. See, now the only ones I really will agree with are Lucas at 97, Anthony Edwards at 95, John Morant, 93. Well, we hadn't seen him in a while. We'll see. Tyrese Halliburton, 91. Victor Wembanyama, 89. Trae Young, 89. Tyrese Maxey, 89. Paulo Banchero, 89. Yeah, you're not going to tell me that Paulo Banchero is 4 points better in an NBA 2K rating than Scotty Barnes. No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So this is what I'm saying. In some ways, they're going to try and sewer Scott, and he's going to work, and he's going to kick so much ass. The reality of what he does on the court will force them to raise his 2K rating. That's right. That's the way you do it. They don't want to put national television games for Raptors. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that for us. Go and take it, Scott. And that's through achievement and kicking ass and getting W's and being a badass and getting a badass stat line that nobody can dispute. Because that's the thing. That they won't respect you enough. You're going to have to go above and beyond because you're on the Raptors, my guy. And when you do it, it'll be all the sweeter because you've overcame it and you really are bona fide when you make it on the Toronto Raptors in the NBA. Seriously, you really are bona fide. And you know what? I know you don't want the easy route. You go on the hard route and it's going to pay off so much bigger and better. Trust me, it's going to work out. That's right. Mike's saying 2K casuals think they know ball and argue ball, but only really play 2K. I think it hurts basketball fandom when you have people thinking 2K is the most realistic NBA simulation, and it's how the NBA works. Boom goes the dynamite. I'm going to be giving Mike a dunk, a three-pointer right here, because he just described exactly part of the problem. Some of these kids do not actually watch the NBA. They only play the game. And all of their perceptions about the reality of the game are from a fake-ass game. Coding and developers' perception of what they think the NBA is. And Mike just described the problem right there. We're going to give Logical Raptors Fanatic a three-pointer for this one. He just hit the nail on the head. That's part of it. Perception is part of the problem that we're talking about right here. 87, Mike. You've got 87 dunks for the year. David's saying probably give him a 78. They gave him an 85. Scotty has an 85. Amit's saying that his dogs are wearing the Casey Bannerman jerseys. I don't think it's a real hint. I think it is. I think it is. Seriously. Amit, seriously, look at the jerseys. They're purple front, black backs. Why would he get that jersey? Seriously, you got to think about this. That jersey has not been in the retro rewind coming into the Raptors yet. It will this year. Because honestly, that's the Vince Carter jersey, the purple front, black back. And if this year's the 30th anniversary and we're honoring Vince because he goes in the Hall of Fame, and we're going to honor the 25th anniversary of his dunk competition, well, that's the jersey they're going to be wearing as the throwbacks in those 10 throwback games. It's not going to be a purple dinosaur. Everybody wants a purple dinosaur this year. It's not going to be happening. We did that 10 years ago. We did the purple dinosaur throwback year 10 years ago. We did the white dinosaur throwback 5 years ago. This year it's going to be the Vince Carter purple front, black back jersey. And that those dogs are wearing it. I'm telling you, that's the sign right there. Scotty knows ahead of time a lot of things that are going to happen with the Raptors because he's in the know. He's in the draft day boardroom with Masai and Bobby when they make the call. Well, he probably does know what's coming up in some ways with what's happening with the Raptors this season. In some ways, because he's in the know. He's the franchise player. He should know. That's right. Tommy's saying, let's go purple Vince jersey. Yeah. I begrudgingly say this. I mean, I own a bunch of these jerseys. Why do I hate that jersey? I don't know. It's not that I hate the jersey. It's just that it's just the purple color was never the right color. The one when Vince wore it, that wasn't the right color. It's not the right purple. It needs to be just a slight shade. Let's get the Pantone little color swats that they have at the Home Depot Center with the paint, and let's like look at the different purple shades. And I'm telling you, that purple from then, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And I feel like in some ways they gave us an ugly ass purple early in our franchise history on purpose. On purpose. Well, we want a more attractive shade of purple. If they come back with the purple front, black back, and it's a different kind of purple, just like they did when they did the purple dinosaur, I'll be happier. I'll be happier because that's not the right shade. It's not the right shade. I'm telling you. David's saying, do we have a purple 15 jersey emoji? You guys are really asking for things that I'm not for. Don't ask Tom to make that. Seriously. I'm fine with the dunk emoji that he put in the next comment, but we don't need to put the number 15 on blast in here, guys. We really, really don't. Kareem's saying, I feel like the Raptors are going to incorporate all colors in their celebration of the 30th year, which in fact will look horrid. Yeah, that's pretty funny that you said that, but I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. In some ways, a lot of this costs money. You know, we do the Welcome Toronto. Well, we want to have the Welcome Toronto black and gold court and use it for a few games. So it's not like they want to have a different court every single one of these throwback games. And they probably don't want to have this different jerseys every single throwback game. So I'm telling you, it's going to be very much a similar court almost every one of the throwback games, the 30th anniversary games. And it'll be the same jersey all year. They're not going to bring out a singular jersey for each game and have a different throwback for each of the 10 throwback games. They won't do that. They'll wear the same throwback jersey the whole entire year, which is the one we're talking about today. That's it right there. Yeah. Cowboy said, Al Rashamshe speed rating better be 99. You want me to go look at it? Because I can actually look this kind of stuff up. Cowboy, it is there. They didn't really flesh out all of Shamshe's stats yet. They're giving him no respect because they don't really know about him. So there's no actual specific ratings on here. He's just a 68, my guy. He's just a 68 right now. That's it. So nothing there. Tom's saying, oh, yeah, but each stream we are limited to at present at 12 emojis. That's why I switch them up. Yeah, I appreciate that, Tom. And don't do the 15 that David requested. I don't want that. I'm not here to honor Vince the way that they are. I'm really not. I'm really not. So I will do the right things in reporting what happens with Vince this year, but I will begrudgingly report on it because I'm not a fan of his. And y'all got to remember that. I'm not a big fan of Vince. I really am not. And I don't want to see no 15 in our chat. Seriously. You can do the retro jersey, but it doesn't have to be 15. It should be 4 is what I would say. Yeah. Mike's saying, I heard someone say that Bronny is good because his rating is close to their first round picks rating. Laugh out loud. See, that's the asinine, stupid kind of shit that people that are only in the 2K game will say about the reality of basketball. That was one of the whole teaser things this summer was Ronnie 2K coming out and saying, I'm going to reveal Bronny's rating. And everybody going, ooh. You know, it's like stupid. It's like, seriously, what his rating better be the same as Shamshe's 68. I'm pretty sure it is. I can go look at it. Let me go look. Let me go look and see what they've rated Lil Bronny. Lil Bronny. They got 68. I was exactly right. He's a 68 right now, just like Alrish Shamshay. 68. Yeah, that's the right rating for him. Maybe even lower, honestly. Lower. Cowboys got the whole. All right, these are all the emotes right now. We got the 30th anniversary, the dunk, the Vince Carter dunk, Jakob, Scotty, RJ, Emmanuel, Bruce Brown, Oshai Abaji, Grady Dick. Is that Chris Boucher? No, that's Davion Mitchell, Monique, and myself. So that's our palette for the faces right now. Amit saying also Chet Holmgren is 86. Scotty's 85. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that. Chet had 1 year so far, right? He played his first full year this past year, and he played all games. That's pretty good after missing his first year. In some ways, he has so many holes in his game. He really does. Scotty's an all-round complete player, and that's the thing that they're not respecting about him, is that he's an all-round complete player. I mean, we could go and dig in the trenches and look at Scotty specifically about like the badges they gave him and stuff like that. And most of Scotty's badges are defensive-oriented, guys. It's kind of interesting. When I was looking at this in a little bit more detail last night, Scotty has 14 badges. He has 1 silver badge and 13 bronze badges. Emmanuel has 1 gold badge, by the way, when I looked at his. And almost all of his are defense and rebound badges. They say Scotty's got ankle braces, chase down artist, clamps, fast feet, immovable enforcer, off-ball pest, workhorse, post lockdown, and a pogo stick. That sounds about right. And on playmaking, he has physical handles, and he's a needle threader. In his finishing, he's got pro touch, spin cycle, and 2-step. And those are the 14 badges Scotty has on 2K right now. I think that he needs more offensive badges. I think that he needs some gold badges. And yeah, a lot of that stuff is right on from what I see there. Tommy's saying the top 8 players, right? Top 8 players? Which top 8 players? At Tommy. Oh, the top 8 players of the team is the ones that he put the emoticon heads in. Man, put Chris Boucher in there. Put Chris in there, or maybe Jacoby needs to be in there. Maybe Jamal Shed. I don't know. He's got to switch it around. There'll be a rotation, and Tommy may be looking at what I'm going to talk about the next day, and he's switching in emoticons as a emoticon giant sneaking in the night and coming in and switching out the emoticon heads. Yeah. Dap to Tommy. You know what? We're going to give Tommy a dunk for all the hard work he does as far as being the emoticon giant of the Rapid Free channel, changing our stuff. A 124, I gave you a 3-pointer, Tommy. You're at 124 now. Let's see. Tommy's saying Walter may crack that rotation. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Jacoby Walter, maybe he needs to have his head on there, his face on there. Carlson, maybe. Yeah. We'll have to see. Cowboy saying the Terminator isn't there, though, bro. He wants Shamshay back. Yeah, see, Shamshay got switched out. He was in there last week. I remember seeing him there. Tommy's saying 905 player of the year, Alrish Shamshay. We'll see. I like what you're saying. Good job on the classic card. Oh, you thought that was Vince Carter? Smooth thought this was Vince Carter from afar. That's interesting. Those Sixers jerseys were ugly that they were wearing then. Very Americana with the red, white, and blue, but they do not look like any of the Sixers jerseys ever since, and before that either. They were weird jerseys when they had those ones. All right, let me see. Where was I? Vince Carter was not right. 75 points for a logical Raptors fanatic. That's awesome. Kareem saying, damn, it's evident I need glasses. How the hell y'all see that? Mike's got those young eyes. I guess so. He's got those young eyes. Maybe he has a very large monitor. Mike has some sort of like bat cave monitor, just like Batman would. He's like, it's a full like wall in his house. He's like, oh, I can see that. That's Charles Barkley, and then he turns, he said, Alfred, bring me another tea. I want to believe that Mike is Batman. That's what we're going to say right there. Yeah. Let's see. Tommy's saying, good eyes, Mike. I just got Mike Kareem. Yeah. Let's see. I know Kareem. I even zoomed in. In some ways you can tell a round mound of rebound from far off distance. You're an NBA fan. That's right. I'll tell you this. I identified Charles Barkley by his body type and size at the NBA Finals, Game 1 in 2019, Raptors versus Golden State Warriors. There was Drake sitting in the front row wearing the 30, Dell Curry. And then across the way, the TNT guys were on the other side sitting in an extra broadcast booth on the south side of the court at Scotiabank Arena, and a very large, rotund, round mound of rebound. Got up from his seat, and I was like, oh, that's Charles Barkley. And I said to Pizza Chris, I said, hey, Chris, that's Charles Barkley down there. So if you can identify Charles Barkley from a far off distance because of the sheer size of his body, yeah, you're a basketball fan. That's what I'm saying right there. That's right. Let's go. Slam the like button. That's right. A bald Zion sort of. Yeah. Yeah, why do you guys think everybody looks like Zion? You guys keep saying this. You're like Dewan Wagner looks like Zion. Charles Barkley looks like Zion. No, no, he doesn't. You guys are wrong. Kanono. All right. Wait. Rest in peace, Kanono. Rest in peace. What? What are you saying? Don't tell me there's something sad that happened. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't do that. David saying Scotty rejected Barnstormer. I'm shocked. Laugh out loud. No, I'm not. I'm not. Scotty, in some ways, don't want to be named by a 40-year-old. That's not cool. He'd be better off if Ahmet Gaming came up this the nickname for him. They'd be like, yeah, Ahmet's a young kid, and it's like, yeah, the kids are hip and they know what they're talking about. Not old head Lex. Come on, man. David saying, I love Anthony Bourdain. So sad how that story ended. Such a brilliant and interesting guy. You know, I could tell you guys are kind of birds of a feather, kind of the same ilk of kind of like your worldviews. And in some ways, that's cool. Yeah, I guess I hit it right when I said Anthony Bourdain, Secret of New Orleans. David Saborin telling Trevor to go into that cafe and just act like you own the place. Yeah, Trevor's saying, thanks, David. I had some yesterday for the first time. Pretty good. So he's had some beignets. 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 See, I know how to say it. Some people would see that word and they'd be like, being Jeanette, one of the three Chipettes, Jeanette, Eleanor, and Brittany. Being Jeanette. My mom's probably laughing if she's listening to me right now because I'm talking about beignets right now. That's her world. That's right. All right, let's keep going. Kareem saying Anthony Bourdain had the greatest job ever. His way of sitting down with locals in every part of the world was mesmerizing. Rest in peace to the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, talking about people with badasses jobs, Ronnie 2K and Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, badass jobs. Really, really fun. Good jobs for these guys. That's right. Mike saying the cards are useless if you can't play against players, and the login nature on games when the server is taken down, the software becomes useless. It's the issue with digital games. You're paying to rent. I know that's the sad thing. And it's so crazy. There's no rent control. They're going to make people pay like crazy. Like Terrence Ross would drop like $500 in 5 minutes on cards. So they're making money over money, over money over money. No wonder they can pay Ronnie 2K a bunch of money for doing nothing. The amount of money they're making off of people, the scam of NBA 2K. Seriously. And Terrence says this. He's like, y'all are scamming. Y'all are scamming. He says it. He gets so mad on his Twitch. When I'm watching Terrence try to play 2K, he gives up. He's like, first of all, the game is glitchy, Raptors Freak. And then when you buy all these cards, you just get the same damn ones over and over again. And it's just like you buy it all for just get one card, and then you finally get it. You spend $1,000. And then Terrence stops playing NBA 2K, and he picks up the WWE and starts wrestling instead. Or he's really been into Gran Turismo this summer, too. He's really been into the race cars and playing like old Gran Turismo kind of racing games, too. Terrence will play FIFA also. He plays the soccer also. So yeah. He really got mad at 2K this at one point this summer when I was watching him. He said, "Man, I'm not playing this garbage anymore." That's kind of what he said. Mike's saying certain games have fan-made servers to host player versus player. Super Smash Brothers Melee has a fan server, and it was a GameCube game, but no one is making a 2K20 server though with new servers on every year. Yeah, man, in some ways, it's just I get their business model and they're executing it year after year. And I think that it's consumer fatigue that, what do you expect us to do every single year? Pay $200 to you guys and then pay all the extras for the add-ons in the game every single year? Greedy. That's what that is. In some ways, I pine for the days where we used to have products that were made very well. Think about it. Your cell phones, your computers, all kinds of different things are not made to last because they don't want you to have something for like 10, 20 years and not have to buy it again. They want it to fall apart. They want you to drop that phone in the toilet. They want you to destroy your electronics so you have to come back and buy it all over again in the next 2 years. Seriously. It's like in the 50s and the 60s, they used to make stuff to last. And in some ways, some people have stuff from that decade that's still working now, because they actually put quality into things and they didn't think about, well, we don't want to people that have to come back and buy this over and over again. No, we want to make it right the first time, have them pay for it one time, and then it's done. No, that's not the way people think anymore in business. They want to make shitty products, so you have to buy it repeatedly over a long period of time. And this is a symptom of it. This is a symptom of it. I mean, I'm lucky. I grew up in a time early in the 80s with Atari and Nintendo. And in some ways, an old Nintendo game, if it's still working, you can still play it right now. If you don't have to blow on it and try and like put it in and it actually reads the cartridge, that is physical media that you can still go play. Sure, the graphics suck and a lot of the games were really bad, but that was cool at that time. And in some ways, people that have old Nintendos, Super Nintendos, Sega Genesis, even like the earlier PlayStations. I have my PlayStation 2 still. I've had it since 1999, and that thing still works. And I'll get on there and I'll play Grand Theft Auto 3 just for the hell of it. I'll get on there and play some SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs just for the hell of it. It's not online at this point, but it's still the games. I still have the physical things, and the machine still works. So in some ways, they're trying to make stuff that don't work very well for very long these days. Think about iPods. Think about phones. Think about laptops. They don't want them to last because they want you to come and have to buy them again every once in a while. That's what I'm saying right there. Let's see. Trevor's saying, talk to you all tomorrow, working right now, getting the ladies ready for the show. Have a beautiful Sunday, y'all. There you go. Commissioner Jay is on the clock, and he still comes and checks in with us. I appreciate you, Commissioner Fun. And yeah, he's got a big runway show. He's got to get these ladies ready for the show. So yeah, Trevor, good luck with everything you got, and may the show go on and no hitches. Good stuff happens, and only the best things in business and success for our good friend Trevor J. That's right. Cowboy's saying you can't buy a video of a shot or dunk NFT of your favorite player. You can now buy. No, you can now. You're trying to say now. So yeah, NOW. You can't now buy. I don't understand what you're saying, Cowboy. It's too confusing. I know about NFT stuff, and in some ways that was really big a couple years ago. But where did it go? Like you could buy people's plays. Like, oh, there's a Scotty dunk against Orlando where he dribbled 3 times up the court and threw it down right down the middle of the lane. You can own that play, Lex. Really? How do I own it? Well, if you own the play, you get charge ESPN if they ever use it on the air again. I don't understand NFTs and owning certain footage of highlights in the NBA. It's weird. I don't trust the NFT market because once again, it gets back to what we were just talking about with the video games. If it's just a digital thing, it's not physical in this world. Do you really own it? That's what I say right there. Mike's saying physical media has an issue of needing updates to play the game. Even though you have a disc, you need a server file to play, making that game server dependent. It's a big issue in the gaming industry. Well, that's why I say let's go back all the way back to you just have the hardware and the disc, and you don't need anything. You don't need no online. You don't need nothing. I can put that disc, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, in the PlayStation 2, and I can run around with a chainsaw like I'm on Scarface and down the strip in Miami and play some Jason Friday the 13th if I want to. I don't need no update. I'll just put it in there and I'm Tommy Vercetti. All of a sudden, yeah, I'm back in town, Ken. Could you have any jobs right now? Well, Tommy, there's a thing going on with these big goons coming by here and miss. Oh, I'll go and take a visit for them for you, Ken Rosenthal. Yeah, you like the little Vice City drop right there? That's pretty fun. Yeah, let's go. Mike's saying Xbox just shut down the Xbox 360 server recently. So certain games have a longer rental period, but ultimately you're paying to rent games now in days. Yeah, that's just you're giving the shaft to the young generation. I'm sorry. This is just wrong. In some ways, this is just wrong. It's like I can get my old Nintendo cartridges and get the old Excite Bike and put it in the old Nintendo, and I can get that paddle out and I'm Excite Bike. Yeah, I can do that. What is going to happen to these kids when they get older? They're going to get older and then be like, I wish I could play my old NBA2K from 2020, but it's gone. That's wrong. That is wrong, I tell you. In some ways, I love the game Lemmings. Do you remember the game Lemmings? They were little lemmings and they walk along the ground and you have to save them by building bridges or digging tunnels or blowing shit up. And that game's on computers. It's like we could go find the emulator version of it online right now. And I could revisit my time playing Lemmings. Oh, don't let them fall in the hole, Lex. Build the bridge and the steps, But these kids, are they going to have emulators of their games in the future? Hopefully. Because in some ways, nostalgia and old memories are healing and they're nice to go back and revisit Lemmings playing it on the computer, Lemmings, or Excite Bike on the Nintendo, or Vice City on the PlayStation 2. Like, what are people gonna get? What are they gonna get in the future? What is gonna be Amit gaming, 50 years old, like me, eventually, where he's like, I can't play any of my 2K. I'm telling you, let's think about this. Seriously, let's think about this. Seriously. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I like just the general talk about media and video games right now because it is tied into the 2K stuff, Mike. So it's all good. It's all good. Mike Cowboy's saying I was stealing cars before GTA came out. Wait, in real life? I'm great. I'm glad I did all that before I was 18. Not saying it's good, but it was fun at the time. Well, okay, Bradley, you didn't have to confess, but all right. In some ways, Bradley, yeah, you were a bad kid. Let's just put it that way. No stealing cars, Bradley. No stealing cars. Maybe that was good that they came out with Grand Theft Auto. It got your Jonesing for stealing cars out of the way virtually instead. You know, I can't steal cars real life anymore. I got to go steal them on the video game, and then I'll feel better. I don't know. Wayne saying this is the gaming episode. Totally apt. My son's favorite pastime flies over my head. There you go. Sergeant Wayne Stranger's in here listening. In some ways, it's like, okay, it's going over my head, but it's interesting in some ways, I guess. I mean, this is bigger than just the games. It's what we're talking about right now about physical media versus digital media and having a copy forever. You know, you better go buy your Beaches DVD because you may not be able to watch Bette Midler sing about "You Are the Wind Beneath My Wings" because you ain't got that physical DVD. You better find your DVD of Beaches. Yeah, yeah, or other movies like Beetlejuice, whatever you want to watch. That's right. Kareem saying, Cowboy, playing GTA gave me some fun memories when me and the homies were out in the streets. You know, I would always, this was something that happened to me when I would play GTA for too much time. And I was also an adult that drove. I would like have to switch from GTA driving mode in my head to like, you're in real life now, Lex, and don't be driving like you did on GTA. In some ways, I've wondered over the years how many people have done really dumb things driving because they forgot they're not in the GTA game and they're driving in real life. I don't know. That could have been a social phenomena in some ways. You know, I don't know. Most people are smart and they understand the difference between real life and the video game. And I hope nobody's driving on the sidewalk because they did it on GTA. That'd be really dumb. That'd be really dumb. A Cowboy saying, would you consider getting a dog now since you live out there? I've talked about this recently. In some ways, the thing I'm feeling about it is, Bradley, I'm really into the natural animals here. And I don't want to get a dog or a cat because in some ways they will disrupt the how they're around me right now. Like if I have a dog out here, it probably would scare the chipmunks and the squirrels away. And I don't want that. I want the rabbits, the chipmunks, and the squirrels in here. I have a pet. It's a red squirrel. And he woke me up again this morning, chattering outside my window. Reddy the red squirrel. And in some ways, I'd rather have the natural animals here than bring in my own animal. Now, in some ways, the good thing about having a dog is it's a warning system and it can be helpful in certain ways. I have not felt the need to get a dog, and I probably won't. But who knows? There may be a dog around here at some point, but I don't see it in the near future. I'd much rather have my squirrels and my chipmunks. How about that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm not getting a cat for sure because those cats will kill all the birds and all the little rodents, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to thrive this biosphere of diversity out here with all the animals. And in some ways, a dog or a cat is not natural to be here. And that I'm going all natural, baby, all natural. And I want to have the natural kind of stuff happening out here as far as the plants, the animals, the birds, and the insects. So yeah, yeah. It's not likely. It's not likely. I'm okay with dogs, but I'm not really classically a dog person. I'm a cat person, actually. I used to have cats most of my life, but I'm not going to have a cat out here. There's no way I would have a cat out here. Yeah, dap to Kareem. Dap. David's saying Scotty's going to win a chip before all those other rookies in his class. I don't believe that. I want to believe that. But that's what I'm saying. They're going to try and elevate Franz, Paulo, Cade, Evan Mobley above him. Now, Evan Mobley is nowhere near him. That's a farce that they're trying to put Evan Mobley above him. That is such a farce. And he's the one that insults me the most as far as them elevating him. Franz, I can get a little bit around him being close to Scotty. Cade, well, he's probably there, but he really hasn't done jack shit in his career for me to think that Scotty and him are equal. Scotty's way better than Cade. Yeah, and Paulo's an interesting one because Paulo Banchero and Scotty are similar kind of players, and Paulo's getting a lot of the stuff that Scotty should be getting also, like the Olympic invites and shit like that. And In some ways, the people to gauge Scotty against are those four people that I just named. And Scotty's better than all four of them, as far as I'm concerned. And he will show it more and more to be true as we go forward in life. And he shows it out in his NBA career. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Mike saying, laugh out loud. I got 100% plus completion on GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 4 done up till like a couple of online things that I never got. I can fly the plane in GTA 3, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. That's really hard to do, Mike. The Dodo in GTA 3, I've tried to fly it too. I got to that point in that game also. And it's not really a full plane. It's not like the later versions of Grand Theft Auto where you can fly very much a jet up above San Andreas and just like look down at the fake LA. No, that Dodo's really difficult to fly. And if you can keep it up in the air for any amount of time, you're very skilled. You're very, very skilled, is what I would say. The Dodo is not easy to fly in Grand Theft Auto 3 and Liberty City. That's right. That's right. Mike, that's very impressive. I'm going to give you a dunk for being able to fly the Dodo. How about that? We're going to give Mike a dunk for being able to fly the Dodo because that's not easy. Actually, you can get a three-pointer. You're at 90 now, Mike. 90 dunks from Mike. That's pretty interesting. Let's see. Kareem saying, the fuck is LUL again? It's a laugh out loud, but in some ways he wants to do lol. It's laugh out loud, but I don't know what the U stands for. He described it before as something that somebody does online somewhere that he thinks is funny. So I'm just taking it as LOL. Basically, it's like a weird Canadian putting the Canadian version of spelling it with the U, like color with OUR at the end of it. So it's like I'm just gonna say it's the Canadian version of laugh out loud. David saying no idea, man. Let's see. Cowboy saying the best is dropping grenades out of the window. Well, the cops are chasing you. 5 stars, real quick. All right, this is degenerated into a Grand Theft Auto conversation, talking about the fun in those games. Yeah, it drives me bonkers. Yeah, I would do the bell tower on that game. That was kind of fun. If you could find certain places on the map on Grand Theft Auto where the helicopter can't shoot you from above, you could have a standoff and kind of just sit somewhere with a sniper rifle and just pick people off from down below. And if you picked off enough people, blew up enough, dropping enough grenades, like Cowboy's saying, yeah, you get that tank after you, full stars, and you're kind of just chilling in there. And in some ways, if you have a rocket launcher and you can shoot out the side, you can shoot down some of the helicopters too. Yeah. We would do fun stuff like that for sure. For sure. Yeah. Let's see. Wayne saying, I understand Raptors not getting national games. We have been poor in that stage. We were playing well when Kyle was here. We played Boston on Christmas Day and stunk up the joint. Can't blame the NBA. Well, that was a hit job. They script wrote that game. They would not have the Raptors win against the Celtics on Christmas Day. That was very designed. We won the championship, and in some ways, people were punitive towards the Raptors after that. We were still very good, and we could kick a lot of butt. But don't get it twisted. That early morning game on Christmas Day in 2019, when we played the Celtics, was a scheduled loss for us. And it was to make the Raptors fans feel bad on Christmas, the year we won the championship, and to make the Celtics fans feel good on Christmas. In some ways, that's why I don't care about playing on Christmas Day, because some of those games are the most manipulated games of the year. And if they have a matchup that they don't want the one team to win, they will make sure they don't win with a ref hit job and whatever they have to do. So, yeah, it's not that we didn't play well enough in that game. In some ways, you're right. It was a little bit of a weird time for the day, and it was a little bit distracting playing on Christmas Day, I'm sure. And we didn't come in our best, but also at the same time, know that they wanted the Celtics to beat us that day. Don't get it twisted. You know they did. Mike saying Vice City has a T-shirt player model at the mansion, like a change room thing, and it says I completed Vice City, and all I got was this T-shirt. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's the gift that you get for completing the game. Is you get a T-shirt that says all I got was this T-shirt for completing Vice City. That was pretty cool, actually, that they did that. Honestly, that was pretty cool. Honestly, all right. Let me see. Jumped ahead a little bit. Hang on. Where is it? Here we go. Mike saying stealing tanks after the army comes. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that was tough to do. It's tough to get them out of the tank. Yeah, it's really, really hard to do that. Stealing police car are easier, but trying to steal a tank when they show up was really hard. The best way to get the tank was at the airport, obviously, at the military airport. Jump over that fence and run across and jump in it. And as soon as they see you around there or the tank moves, it's high alert. And then you got to drive right on out of there and get going. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, Carlos saying someone should bring back NBA Live. 2K needs competition. I agree with this wholeheartedly. In fact, I was saying this earlier, Carlo. Terrence Ross believes this too. He said, "Why isn't NBA Live around anymore? Why don't we have NBA Live? I'd play that." That's what Terrence Ross was saying. Carlo, you're going to get a dunk for saying that because I believe you're right. Competition is good. And the more and more prices go up, it shows us that competition has been really lacking in our industries in the world, whether it's the meat industry, is this industry or that industry, they're driving up the prices because they own all the companies and monopolies are bad. And that's why I would say there needs to be an alternative NBA basketball game that competes with 2K. It's just another choice. It could be a whole different other field. And well, it's healthy. Innovation and better products come from competition. And that's what needs to happen. Yeah. David's saying, yeah, where is the Boucher emoji? That's right. I want to see Chris in there. That's right. Mike's saying Barkley's Suns jersey looks similar. So it looked like Suns Barkley. Well, part of the reason why it looked like Suns Barkley is because the Suns logo is in the corner and the Suns colors are on the side, but it's actually a red, white, and blue Sixers jersey he's wearing. And I believe who's that behind him? Let's see if we can guess who those guys are. That looks like Scottie Pippen and Ron Anderson behind him there. And then on the other one, that looks like, oh crap, who is that? I can't tell who the big guy is, but I can tell that's Ron Anderson and Scottie Pippen in the back. Scottie Pippen, yeah. Let's see. um, Boucher, hope Boucher gets more minutes this year, is what Bradley's saying. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing's guaranteed. And once again, I'll tell big fans of Boucher, like myself and David, just chill out. Boucher's in the league. He's a two-time champion. He's a G League MVP. He's a G League Defensive Player of the Year. He has a lot of great things in his career. And well, Darko will utilize him as he sees fit. And we need to respect the coach on his decisions on as far as who's going to be the rotation and who's going to be playing certain times and certain wins. And if Chris Boucher is on the end of the bench and y'all are going free Boucher, I get it. I'm with you. But once again, I respect my coach and his decision making. And if he doesn't feel like he wants to play Chris Boucher, well, that's just his choice. And y'all can't be mad at him for that because in some ways, Darko knows best. And also, I would say this last year at the end of the year, when people were upset that Chris wasn't playing, well, it's because he would help us win. And in some ways, we weren't trying to win at that point. So I will continue to remind people that. Now, this year, when we're trying to win, I'm sure we will see Chris more than we did in the second half of the season last year. Yeah. Mike's saying the nickname wasn't long-lived. Kanono was fun. Oh, yeah. Mike brought up Kanono. I thought you were saying that Christian died. Like when you said rest in peace. I'm like, fuck, man. Was his health problem that bad? I didn't even realize that. Man, you really scared me with writing that. Seriously, you made me think for just a split second that Christian Koloko might have passed away because you said Kanono rest in peace. Yeah, be more careful with your comments, man. Seriously. And that was your nickname. And as I said, it didn't stick, did it? No. Why don't we just call him Kokomo? Way down in Kokomo, Aruba, Bahamas. Come on, pretty mamas. Key Largo, Montego. Ooh, I wanna go where Fiercey goes. To Jamaica, yo's, 'cause it's so nice there. I'd like to go there, way down to Kokomo. No. Mike, all right. Monique is saying during the 2019 playoffs around halftime, Shaq passed by me. I couldn't get a picture in time. That would have been awesome. That would have been a good get. Monique has a great photo album of pictures of herself with great NBA personalities. A lot of Raptors. But yeah, that would have been a big get to get Shaquille O'Neal a picture. I mean, that would have been a big picture. That person would have had to walk back to take the picture of both y'all because Shaq's so huge. Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see Shaq next to Mo and just how big he is in comparison to Mo. That would be a very interesting picture. Wayne saying, please don't go there with Anthony Bourdain. I love that man. Cried silly knowing what happened. One of the most intelligent Americans ever. Rest in peace, Mr. Bourdain. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are big fans of his. In some ways, he's kind of like me. Once again, outspoken, knows what he stands for, and he doesn't give a shit if you like him or not. And in some ways, I can respect that a lot. I didn't really watch a lot of his show. But I can very much respect because I've heard how much he meant to so many different people that I can respect that. Yeah. And if anything, I'm only talking out of respect to the guy today. And in some ways, if I do little funny little comments, it's all in tribute. It's not to deride him, please. Cowboys got Mo on blast. I love it. David saying Wayne Strainer agreed, teared up just thinking about it during the stream. Something special about that man. Dunk for Wayne. Yeah, all right, we'll give Wayne a dunk for this. Yeah, I mean, listen, in some ways we got to mourn people. We're gonna mourn Cooper the dog. We're gonna mourn Anthony Bourdain a bit. We're gonna mourn our old 2K team that got wiped off the server. Also, yeah, 72 dunks for Wayne. I'm giving him threes today. We're giving out threes today. I don't know why. I just feel like giving threes to everybody. So we're gonna give them three. Mike's saying retro video gaming is big. People pay a lot to get games they owned as kids, and their collective market around boxed in plastic, 100% new games that go for thousands. Yeah, one of the ones that's really big is the old Super Mario Brothers game for Nintendo. If you can get a wrapped box Super Mario game, that is big money, big money. Anything Nintendo from the mid 80s that is still packaged in the box. Oh my gosh, you got some money. You got some money. Yeah. In some ways, I wish when I was a kid in the 80s that a lot of the stuff that I had was still in the box right now because I would have a fortune right now. Whether it was wrestlers, the LGN, big posing Hulk Hogan, and the Nintendo stuff I had, the superpowers toy line with Superman and Batman and all that. Yeah, that's actually back out. You go to the big box stores right now, and they've got a new line of superpowers out by Kenner, and they've added all these extra characters all of a sudden. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. I'm not getting into this now and adding them to my old collection. That's crazy. I am almost 50. I will not be going to Walmart to buy toys. I'm sorry. I will not do that. Let's keep going. Mike saying they tried to pump the market a couple years ago, and some bad actors got Super Mario 64 in box to sell for like 1.5 million or something. There's some bad actors at every level. Yeah, there's scammers. There's people that go on manufacture and try and sell you something. You got to be careful, especially with eBay and different things out there. You don't actually physically have the product, and then you get it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually not what they said it was. It's a headache. In some ways, yeah, there's all kinds of weird ways that people want to scam in the new age world. Yeah, all kinds of new ways. That's right. David saying the reserve for Raptors parking sign is pretty bright. Your dad will likely agree. Is pretty bite? What? What? Bright? I don't know. I've got to figure out the lighting in here a little bit better, David. I'm still working out the studio bit by bit. We're gonna get through it, but right now that sign's awesome. That's from the Aegis and Ramen on Spadina. They love me. They gave me that. My old ramen restaurant gave me that sign because I was such a loyal customer. And I was like, this is perfect for my channel. Raptors fans only. Others will be towed. Reserved parking. Of course, it was on the wall at the old place that I used to do the show. And well, I haven't got the light exactly right. Like on this, the picture of downtown, there's a light strip across it. I don't know. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this exactly because the backdrop's not exactly right yet. The trophy's probably going to stay where it is, but that We the North flag is probably going to be on this wall very soon, behind me very soon. So I just got to find it from all the stuff I packed up from when I moved, and I'll put it back up on the wall. And that chicken picture over there will be gone. It's going to be changing. It's going to be changing slightly, little by little, as the time goes on. But yeah, if there's a bright light from the sign bothering you, David, I apologize. And in some ways, I'll try and figure this stuff out as time goes on to try and limit this kind of stuff. Let's see. Mike's saying, I remember playing Carnivores, Dinosaur Hunter Ice Age when Vice City was popular. Laugh out loud. That game was fun. I have no idea what that game is, Mike. And then Mike's also saying, Lex knows the dodo. It's like a paraglider. You got to use up and down momentum. Yeah, it was ridiculously hard to fly. Ridiculously hard to fly. And I did try to fly it a bit myself. I get that airport runway, and sometimes I just go right into the water. And of course, on GTA 3, you die if you go in the water. That's right. You don't get to swim in that one. Let's see. Mike saying, like Super Mario World, cape flying. Yeah, yeah. David saying, you think Real Sports will let us hook up all our gaming systems to those TVs at the next meet and greet? We can have some gaming championship or something. I don't think so. I mean, unless we can get a section of the restaurant and it makes sense. They're not going to let us do it in the main room with all the big, huge TVs in there. No, unless it's a very off time and they don't. And in some ways, I wouldn't even want to understand what it would cost to do that as far as renting, David. It wouldn't be worth it. We're better off just having a LAN party at somebody's house than trying to go a big venue and doing that. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, Mike's saying Lex knows his GTA. Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do. I really kind of want to play the new one when it comes out. but I also don't want to buy a new system just for it. And I'm pretty sure I waste a lot of time playing the game just because I'd enjoy it. It'd be entertaining, but also at the same time, Lex, you shouldn't be in there playing Grand Theft Auto, the newest version. You should be out in the yard, gardening in your raised bed. So in some ways, I'm like, because I do really love that game. And sometimes if a friend has it and I don't have it, I'll go to their house and I'll play it for one day. And that's enough for me to be like, yeah, I got my Grand Theft Auto fix for now on things like that. Yeah. Most saying everyone left early in the third quarter versus Boston. I was there. That was not in Toronto. That game was not in Toronto, Monique. That game was in Boston. The Christmas Day game was in Boston. It wasn't in Toronto, that game. Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I'll go look it up, but I'm pretty positive. I can go look this up. Let's see. December 25th, 2019 Raptors. That's all I got to put in there. If it was in Toronto, I'm wrong. Let's see. Okay, it was in Toronto. She was right. She was at that game. So yeah, okay. Yeah, they jumped out all over us, and by the third quarter, they were beating us by about 20, it looks like. Yeah, almost 20. Okay, so this game was in Toronto. I stand corrected. I don't know why I remembered that game being in Boston. I just figured it was in Boston, but it was actually a game that was played in Toronto, and Monique was at the game. All right, I stand corrected. There you go, Mo. You were right. I don't know why I thought it was in Boston. Maybe I thought the Raptors can't do so bad on their own home court. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this bad memory too much. Really was a bad Christmas that year. Let's see. Cowboys saying later, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Have a great day and great Sunday. Let's go, Raptors. Hope Yak gets a ring with Scotty. I like that. I like that. Wayne saying, I don't know, Lex. Watched many of games at noon Christmas Day. Knicks, Bulls, Pacers, all either 12 or 3:30. Nearly all were entertaining games. My opinion is our guys didn't care and played as such. I mean, maybe they were flat when they came out, but yeah, in some ways, I don't know. I don't remember. We could have to go back and like review the thing. In some ways, I was distracted that day. In some ways, I wanted to watch the game, but also at the same time, I was in the middle of a family gathering, and there were a lot of other people around me that day, from what I remember. And I don't even think I was in Toronto for that one. I think that I might have been in Florida that day on Christmas Day, and I wasn't even in Toronto like Mo was at the game. I think that I was busy doing Christmas stuff, and I didn't even actually pay attention to the game that closely. But I do remember it was a blowout. It was very disappointing, and because I wasn't covering the Raptors like as closely at that point. And in some ways, I was kind of like, well, it's just Christmas, and like in some ways, my parents and my family are like they want to see me, and I can't just kind of hang out with the game as I would normally. I think that's how it went. I don't remember. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Keep at it always, Lex. Good times approaching, and good times are here. Go Raptors for life. There you go, Mo. Thank you for the cutoff. And I guess I have one more half hour to go, so I can talk a little bit more. David saying, I just meant when the sun is shining in the morning, the parking sign behind you is bright in the background. Yeah, I don't even know if that's the sun. I have a light on in here. I could turn it off. There's also a strip of light in the studio that could be covered up better. Yeah, David, I get what you're saying. And nitpicking about this is feedback that is useful. I will try and do something to fix this. But yeah, in some ways, it's like, what, you want me to put my head in front of it? Here, I'll just do that. There you go. And there's a little bit of shine on the other thing too, though. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Cowboy saying party at Cowboy's house. I mean, David saying party at Cowboy's house. I don't know. Where's Cowboy live? And does he have the room? Let's see. Mike saying the dodo was broken. You had to bounce hard to get it in the air. The wheel brackets fixed it, and bounced the dodo up. There's a secret better dodo, the mission where you have to rocket launcher the dodo. Yeah. If you can get that dodo without blowing it up, that one flies better. Yeah. I remember that mission too. Let's see. The dodo has longer wings, and you got to push a burnt plane to your garage to use it. It's a little more stable, but it's bad still. That's right. You'd have to push it. It'd be like destroyed, and you're like pushing it with your body up the street to get it into a garage so that it would be like repaired and you could get it out and then you could fly it. Yeah, that's a lot of work for that. I remember all that. Those were like GTA secret hacks. If you were really into Grand Theft Auto 3 around the turn of the century, this is the kind of stuff you were like doing. You're pushing a burn up plane down the street. That's right. All right, we're at the end of the chat. Let me see what else we want to talk about today. Let's do the Instagram stories real quick. Gary Trent Sr.'s got a picture of a kid with a Popeyes fried chicken box, and he's saying, how's the diet going? And it's the kid just mowing down on the chicken. mowing down on that fried chicken. Gary's out cruising yesterday. Gary Trent Sr. is playing the music high in his car, and he is grooving. He's got some good music, man. Gary actually listens to really good old school R&B, and man, he's got the good stuff. He really does. He really, really does. And yeah, he went to some conference, MPBP Inc. Gala or something like that. I don't know, some sort of women's gala or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but Gary's there having a good time with friends, and then he's cruising around at night last night with more great old school R&B jams. Gary Trent Sr., you're badass. In some ways, I want to live life more like Gary Sr. I really do. Precious is let's see what's Precious doing. He's still in Port Harcourt at his camp. He still got a real full beard, and he's got some wine on blast. It's a Gaveri Chambert 2021 by Louis Jadot. There you go. That's some fancy highfalutin wine. Lloyd is in a very beautiful restaurant in Spain and Madrid with probably with Scotty and the Raptors. And there's a big, huge elephant statue in the middle of the dining room. And there's some really interesting green light in there. So these guys are having a really good time in Spain right now. The Raptors are mixing work with fun because they're getting a lot of touristy kind of stuff in. I can tell from their Instagram stories. Scotty, a picture of him walking on the streets of Madrid with the high, this is the thing I want Scotty and the Raptors to take from this trip to Spain, that walkable cities exist, and that in North America, we're doing everything backwards and half-assed because we center everything around the car. You go to Madrid, Scott, and you see just how much fun it is to just walk around in the city, and you don't need a car and everything's nearby. Yeah, that's the way it should be over here. But the oil industry has fucked us in this North American continent by taking away our train system, by making us all have to have cars. And it really is a scam, just like the NBA 2K stuff I was just talking about. So, Scott, you go over there, soak up the walkable city, and understand that life can be better here on this continent also. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. There's a thunderstrike just now here out here in where I'm living. Yeah, there's a nice picture of a city square and where people can do more stuff. And there's a track on top of the roof that Scotty's looking at where people are able to work out. Maybe that's the roof of the NBA sanctuary. And then there's a nice open space with no cars driving around, a bunch of people sitting at tables eating and enjoying themselves, and a community, because there ain't no damn cars and parking lots and all kinds of streets and bullshit for that kind of stuff. This is the difference between what we're doing here and there. I'm telling you, walkable city is the way to go. Walkable city. There's more, the crowds in the street. No cars, no car to be seen. Thousands of people. There's a big, beautiful palatial building that Scotty's taking a clip of in Madrid. I don't even know. That looks like a palace to me. It looks like an embassy or a palace. I'm not totally sure. There's an amazing statue. This was just posted by Scott in the last half hour. So, yeah, they're out there looking around in Spain right now, touristing it up in Madrid. And I hope those Raptors get cultured and understand there is other parts of the world that do things better than we do in this country, in Canada and the United States. Seriously, we got to get our heads out of our ass and stop kissing the ass of the fossil fuel industry. Start driving electric, start riding the train, start riding your bike. Stop building parking lots. Stop building all this shit. We could have a park instead of a parking lot. We could have a town square instead of a parking lot. Jameson Battle is out here celebrating Dale Bonner. He's a Talent Z, Baylor U, Ohio State. So I don't even know who this guy is, but Jameson Battle wants to put him on blast, so I'll talk about him a little bit. Here we go. We got Chris Boucher, and there's a clip of him on TV, and he's watching, looks like Netflix, and they've got his story on there now. So there's apparently a new show called Crying Now, Shine Later. The Chris Boucher story is available on streaming service. I'm not sure. That looks like that could be Netflix. So yeah, check it out. Hoop Dreams, Hoop Reality, Slim Duck, Chris Boucher. There's a Chris Boucher. I think we've seen this documentary. I think I've watched it, but it is out there and available. So watch the Chris Boucher story on streaming service near you. Dubber Don's still showing more highlights from his Summerfest that he had on Friday in Rexdale. All the smiling kids, all the fun, some dribbling kids, and doing some basketball. And there he is with some friends. There you go. You know what, Delano, I wish you well this season coming up. At the Summerfest, he's there in his pink In Your City outfit, and then the kid's wearing a black and gold Raptors jersey. or Raptors shirt. And I love that. The kid is a Raptors fan in Rexdale, and he's standing with former Raptor Delano Banton, who now plays for the Portland Trailblazers. So you go, kid, repping the Raptors next to Delano. You're my hero. Charles Oakley is dressed to the nines, and he is out on the town with his friends. I don't know who that is. The super lawyer and some guy cash grab or something like that. I don't know. Charles looking good. Let's see who else we got going on in the Instagram stories real quick. That's it. That's pretty much it. So the Raptors continue their tourist stuff in Spain, in Madrid. And Scotty and Lloyd taking cool pictures around Spain as they walk around on the streets. Very, very cool stuff right there. Very, 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 very cool. Cool. Monique saying Jacoby even making TikTok videos in Spain. Okay, so Jacoby's on the TikTok. Yeah, I should cover that a little bit more. Yeah, I'm glad that all those guys are over there having a good time and learning more and more and more. G saying, I'm late, but I wanted to say hi. Enjoy your Sunday, everyone. Thank you, Trivia Champion Season 1, G, for coming in, wishing everybody well. You know what? I'm going to give you a dunk just for coming in and saying hi right at the end. So we're going to give a three-pointer to G because we're giving threes today for some reason. You got the James Edwards Buddha, Detroit Pistons bad boy, 53. 53. There you go. All right. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about real quick before we get out of here? What is it? The purple throwback jerseys are on blast by this design guy by Hassan. That's not a legit. That is just a fan made thing. There's some sort of junior coaches clinic online the NBA is doing or something. That's what you guys are talking about. Yeah, there's the Scotty picture with Cardi and Cece in the Vince Carter era jerseys. Yeah, some of the stuff in here is kind of Shaden Sharp and Vancouver for the Ball Don't Stop Pro-Am with Malachi Flynn. That happened last night. Let's see what else has been happening. That's an old IQ clip from January, by the way, Trevor. That is very, very old, that clip of Emmanuel answering those questions. Yeah, I think that's it from there. Y'all set up your WNBA teams for fantasy. This is the last day of this week. So the winners will be determined after the games today for this week. And I'm saying there's maybe one more week of battling, and then it's the playoffs. So if you're on the cusp and you're going to make it, well, let's see who's going to make the playoffs and who's not. Edmond's been eliminated from the playoffs, and there's an outside chance that JP will make it, but it's looking like Cool Cat and James are going to get the last two playoff spots, and that JP, Reese's Nieces, has only got one win for the year. So it's looking like they're going to be on the outside looking in. No birthdays today, unfortunately. So I have no birthday to report to you guys today. Mike's saying the issue with electric vehicles in Ontario is that Kathleen Wynne sold Ontario Power, and now the car industry can still make their money from power and not worry about gas. It's another way to get your money. All right, I don't even know if it's Kathleen Wynne. Don't name drop liberals and be mad at them, Mike. You can say that just the Ontario government. You don't have to fucking say which one it was because it's cloudy who did it and who didn't. And in some ways, I will say this right now. There's a lot of myths about electric vehicles, and they're all bullshit. I'm going to say this right now. As an owner of an electric vehicle for almost 6 months now, they are badass, and they are very, very good to have. I have a hybrid truck, and I pay $75 a month for gas, and I can drive over 1,000 kilometers on it. So you tell me there's something wrong with that. You tell me there's something wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm laughing because my expenses for my transport is nil, hardly anything. And poor jackasses are spending $75 every couple days. I spend $75 on gas once a month, Mike. Once a month. And I get 1,000 kilometers per tank. And that is an electric hybrid truck called a Ford Maverick that it came out, and it's badass. I'm just telling you, I've learned the truth about electric because I drive one myself now, Mike, and they're badass. And well, the car companies say they're a fail or something. They're lying to you because they are getting paid by the fossil fuel industries to continue to make most of the cars have to have something on there. I don't know about Teslas because I ain't got no fucking Tesla, and I don't support Elon Musk. And maybe a full charge EV is a little bit tougher to manage because you need the space and stuff like that. But my hybrid right in between, ooh, it's nice. It's nice, Mike. I hardly pay anything for fuel, and this thing is badass. And in some ways, I don't want to give my truck up ever again because there you go. There you go, Mike. I know the truth now because I actually own one, and I've been using it secretly. Y'all didn't even know since April because I haven't talked about it. But when we bring up the electric cars, oh, well, Lex knows about it now. I didn't know about it last year because I didn't have one, but now I do. And I know the damn truth about electric vehicles.
In some ways, some of the car companies around the Ontario area are not making more electric because they're fucking stupid and they see how good the product is. Well, I'm lucky. I got one of these trucks before they stopped making them. And I'm going to use the hell out of this truck as long as I can because it's badass. I'm not going to lie. This car has all the pickup in the world. I'm not worried about it being slow or anything. No, it's very good. It's very, very good. I am extremely happy with my electric truck and how it gets around and how much we spend on fuel for it. We don't have to spend hardly any money on the gas. $75. I went and filled up the truck when I was with David and Peter on Canada Day. They were with me. I didn't fill up the car again until August, David. I did not put any more gas in that car for the whole entire month of July until the calendar flipped to August. That's right. I spent $75 on fuel in the month of July, y'all. So yeah, anybody who says jack shit about electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles, they're idiots and they don't know what they're talking about at this point. Seriously, because they are badass. And I'm so happy with my electric truck. Seriously, right now. He's saying everyone knows she sold majority share of Ontario Power. That's why she wasn't reelected. Yeah, the car companies have kept electric vehicles from becoming popular till they got their continuing share. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't care what happened with Wynn. Once again, Mike, I'm going to caution you. Don't use proper names of politicians in here anymore. Don't come in here with Trudeau did this or Wynn did this. No. That's going to be a big no-no in here as far as saying. You can say politicians. You can say the government. You can say this happened, but we're not throwing things around people's necks as far as this. Catherine Wynn, I don't really care. I don't like her. But we don't need to sue her after she's done. And in some ways, I'm not here to bash Liberal Party. If you're here to bash Liberal Party, we're not doing that. Or I'm not going to bash Trudeau, and I'm not going to bash Wynn, even though she hasn't been around politics for a long, long time. So just say the government, just say this, because when you label the person in it, you're going to get me mad. Because I'm not about like starting a liberal hating stream. Seriously. And if you have that design to do that in here, well, don't bring that shit in here. I'll block it like Mutombo and say, no. That's what I'll say right now. You want a Kanono? I'll Kanono your fucking Wynn and Trudeau name drops, okay? I'll Kanono those shit because I don't want it. And I agree with you what you're saying as far as like the car companies holding back electric vehicles because they don't want people to have the truth. You know, the reason why we see so many fucking Teslas out on the road around Toronto right now is because they're badass. And people can drive them and they just have to charge them. No wonder there's so many electric vehicles out there. People that have gas vehicles are sitting at home because they don't want to drive them because they are expensive. Meanwhile, these people that get charges, they're just out running all over the place. You can see a Tesla everywhere you go around the greater Toronto area. I won't support Elon. And maybe there are some issues with charging stations and minerals that you have to extract. I mean, geez, it's not like they cared about extracting minerals from diamonds and subjugating people from the past. You would get mad at the wedding companies and the engagement companies. It was like, oh, these diamonds were blood diamonds. You know, it's the same shit. So it's like all the media propaganda against EV is so stupid. They're lying to y'all. These things are badass. And you can take it straight from Lex, who owns an EV himself. It's a hybrid EV. And in some ways, it's badass. I drive on electric more than half the time. It's barely ever on gas because the way I drive it is very economical and smart. And I'm telling you, I stretch my gas tanks to over 1,000 kilometers. I get for 100 kilometers, I only use 4.6 liters to drive 100 kilometers. So you go ahead and figure out the money and the cash and the balancing of like what other people are driving with full gas cars and what their mileage is per 100 kilometers. They're probably paying like 8 or 0.9 or 9 liters to drive that. I'm doing half. Proof is in the pudding. There you go. Smooth saying, I'm not an Elon Musk guy. He's spending millions monthly for the T-Man to become the president. He said is doing that, but he said, no, I'm not doing that. And I whatever. In some ways, he's going to help Trump lose. Watch. That interview that they did with each other was such a train wreck. Seriously. It's such a train wreck. He's not helping Trump look better. In some ways, he looks so bad and he's associated with him. It's not going to help. Trust me. Wayne's saying hybrid makes sense, not full electric. Cost of ownership is ridiculous after 6 to 7 years. Otherwise, solid technology. Cost of ownership is ridiculous after 6 or 7 years. I don't know if that's true. You're saying because things break out and then you have to replace parts and stuff. Well, I was smart. I got an extended warranty. Yeah. If anything goes wrong with my EV truck, they have to Ford dealership will fix it free of cost. Yeah. So if I have any issues with my electric engine or anything like that, they're going to pay for it because I paid for a very, very high level warranty. And it's on them if anything like that happens at any point up to, I think it's up until 175,000 kilometers or something like that. Yeah, so I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape. Let's see. Mike saying no one liked Kathleen Wynn. Stop putting her name in the chat, Mike. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put them in the banned words list. You won't be able to write Kathleen Wynn or Justin Trudeau in there. In some ways, I will ban those names just because I'm sick of this, Mike. I know you're anti-liberal, and that's fine. In some ways, I'm not a liberal. That's not why I'm upset. It's just that we don't need people coming after the people that aren't the people that need to be coming after. The people that need to be coming after are Doug Ford, the PC, and Pierre Poilievre. Though you want to bash them all day, go ahead. Go ahead, bash them. But I'm not having it. I'm not having it. There's enough bullshit out there that sewer in people like Trudeau and Wynn that we don't need to be a part of it here. How about that? How about that? Yeah. Let's see. I stated main issues. I don't go conspiracy theory on politics. I have watched the chamber sessions and Senate. I don't care, Mike. This is old news. In some ways, I don't care. Do you want me to just keep bringing up Mike Harris and all the bullshit that he did? You seriously, it's old news. Nobody wants to hear me complain about what Mike Harris did with the 407 and the fucking selling that road to China so that everybody's paying tolls to a Chinese company and they're getting all the money off of the drivers in our country. Seriously, we can talk about which parties have been allowing other foreign companies to be parasites on us. Doug Ford is the one who wants to have Therme. Seriously. So, I mean, in some ways, you go ahead and bring up Kathleen Wynn, try it tomorrow, and you will see you can't even write her name into the chat. How about that? How about that? Wayne saying Tesla definitely a terrible product like the owner. Yeah, I agree with this. But on the download, there's EV and hybrid vehicles out there that are fantastic. In some ways, you guys just don't know about them. If you knew about my truck, more people would try and come out there and get that Ford Maverick. Go look into the Ford Maverick. It's a really badass little truck. I'm serious. It's so badass that they're very, very hard to find. You cannot buy them hardly because they're in demand. So you can go look into this vehicle I bought. It's a Ford Maverick if you want to go see what it's all about. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Mike's saying, I don't buy into media BS like dirty politics. Listen, Mike, in some ways, I don't really want to talk about political stuff for the most part anymore right now, especially since this election's going on down in the States. I very much have very strong opinions about it. But in some ways, I don't want this to turn into the political hour with Lex talking about Trump and Kamala Harris. So let's stop and limit using politicians' names in my chat from now on. If I want to rant against Trump for some reason, that's my right. But y'all coming in here and just dropping politicians and stuff like that, and especially ancient history like Kathleen Wynn, it's just not necessary. So I'm just going to ask you kindly, as somebody, as a friend, don't do this anymore. Don't do this anymore. You insert Trudeau or Wynn into the comments. I'm not going to be happy because in some ways it's not worthwhile and it's not something we do here. I'm not into that. I get it. You're not buying into media BS. You're not a conspiracy theorist. I understand what you're saying. You're just plainly stating facts, but it's not necessary. We're talking about Ronnie 2K today. We're talking about video games. We're talking about the dodo. We're not talking about some bullshit with Kathleen Wynn that happened a decade ago, almost. Come on, man. Come on now. Wayne saying, no, Lex, the battery has a lifespan of 6 to 7 years. Replacement costs an average of 20,000. Ask the dealer. Hear what they tell you. Well, either way, Wayne, we'll figure this out when this happens, and we'll see what's going to go on with this at some point. I'm just saying, I've got an extended warranty, and if that battery goes wrong, they're paying for it. I don't have to pay jack shit. Seriously. I have the top-notch warranty with the dealership. I bought it from the dealership. So it's up to them to fix the car because of what has been established. Let's just say that, yeah. Mike saying, I'm anti-corrupt. Ford is selling our healthcare. I don't like him either. It was a topic of electric vehicles. I don't even know who brought this up. Seriously, did we bring up electric vehicles? Who did? I don't even care. In some ways, it's fine. The whole thing is electric vehicles are good, and people need to stop saying they aren't and just go with it. I get suspicious of anybody who's anti-electric that they're somehow connected to the fossil fuel industry and they're getting their livelihood off of it. Seriously. because there's so much bullshit out there, whether it's the chip shit, whether in some ways what Wayne's saying is supposed to scare me from buying an electric. No, Wayne, I'm not scared. This car is badass and I'm saving a ton of money. So you're going to tell me in 6-7 years the car's not going to work? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, man. I don't know if that's true. We'll see how it all goes down. And in some ways, I don't appreciate just trying to say, oh, it's scary. You don't get it because it's only good for 6 or 7 years. No, that's bullshit. I'll believe it when I see it. And at that point, I'll probably still have the warranty and they'll take care of it. So there you go. There you go. G saying the problem with electric, my cousin is an environmental engineer, is due to the heaviness of the vehicle. It pushes down on the tires, letting off more rubber fumes. EV needs work. No, this is bullshit too. This is bullshit too. Gee, there's so much misinformation out there that's just trying to tell you it's not that the car is any more heavy than the other vehicles. I actually think it's about the same weight. Seriously. I mean, I'll look at what it does in my yard. It's not pushing down on the ground any heavier when I leave it sitting there for a day or so. No, this is bullshit. You guys got to understand. They're going to come up with any kind of stupid ass, superfluous bullshit thing for you to think that they're bad. And this sounds like absolute bullshit, G. I know you're a smart guy and your friend's saying this, but you know what? Maybe your friend's misinformed and feeling stupid because they're going to make any kind of bullshit to turn people off from it because the fossil fuel industry is paying so much money to put out misinformation about electric because they're scared. They know more people get turned on the way that I am about how things are going with mine. They're like, oh, fuck, we're going to lose more and more money because I told y'all I spent $75 on fuel this month. Do they want that or do they want the other? And they're going to tell y'all some bullshit and lie to you. So that's what I'm going to say right there. Don't believe any of this stuff they're saying about electric, anti-electric. It's all the fossil fuel companies, lobbyists paying for misinformation out there to get y'all to be anti-electric. I'm telling you right now, don't fall for it. Take it from Lex, who actually owns an electric vehicle right now. Seriously. Mike's saying creating privatized hospitals will push the best doctors to move to those places. Yeah, I listen. That's a whole other kit caboodle, and I'm 5 minutes away from logging off. I don't even want to start talking about healthcare, Mike. Blank Man saying, is 2000 Shaq the only player to have a 100 rating in 2K? I have no idea. You'd have to ask Amit Gaming or Mike. They might know this answer. I have no idea. I would think that there's probably somebody who's had an 100 rating at some point. In some ways, I don't care. They're superfluous. Thank you, Monique, for another cutoff. Mike's saying, just saying car companies are pushing electric vehicles now because they can make more money than before is better for the environment and should have been pushed like 30 years ago, and they kept it down. Not even 30 years ago. The electric vehicle has been around since the 1920s. So this is nothing new, guys. We could have gone off fossil fuels 100 years ago. That's the biggest scam about all this. And that's the lawsuit that the youngsters, they're coming up in this world, they're going to have to deal with the way that the planet is, with the pollution in the air. They should sue the hell out of all the big car companies and the fossil fuel companies for destroying the planet when they didn't have to. It's exactly like the smoking companies, the cigarettes. Cigarettes, they lied for years and years and said, oh, it doesn't cause cancer and all this stuff. And then there was very much truth, and they sued the hell out of the tobacco companies. Well, this is the same thing. And in some ways, the same thing needs to come around in the karmic way to get the fossil fuel industries, because they poisoned not our lungs. They poisoned our fucking air that goes into our lungs. And that they could have developed electric cars since the 1920s. Mike, we could have been driving electric cars when we were born, but they have taken this money that they make off the gas pumps and funneled it into information and pushing against the technology all this time. So it's not even 30 years ago, Mike. This shit could have happened 100 years ago. I'm telling you, the young generations need to be educated on this, Amit Gaming, and understand just how older generations that screwed you over for money and that destroying our planet. And just because, oh, no, this is going to cut into our costs. The gas thing is too good. We can't have this. This is the biggest, ugliest secret about the fossil fuel industry this whole time. They spent so much of their profits to stifle and stop technology that would take them out of the market because they just wanted to keep their status quo, slice of the pie with their profits. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Thanks for watching me today. NBA 2K is fucked up. Play it if you want to. Play it if you want to spend that money every single year. But to me, whatever. Tomorrow, we'll have a Monday moment. I'll be back at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Let's go, Raptors. Let's go, Team Canada. Let's go, WNBA in Toronto. Let's go, Raptor Freak family. We're badasses. Let's go out there and touch grass and buy electric. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to bullshit. It's not going to push down the roads harder. This is giving people jobs. You know what? They can make the roads tougher. They have the material to do that too. There's all kinds of scams out there in industries because people want to hold the status quo where there's better technology that makes way more sense. But as I said in the beginning, this country and the country south of us, they want to have the fossil fuel companies be in charge. Meanwhile, Europe is like having high speed rail and doing all other things that make more sense. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting leached off of by parasites called the fossil fuel industry. There you go. Tommy's saying, have a good day, everyone. Go touch grass. Even if it's raining, I'm gonna go out there and touch grass. And thank you for the barbecue, Tommy. I love that. All right, let's go, Raptors. Woo! Woo! Woo!